Hello, Hillary Raven Porter here, full spectrum healer and Tamiana Starseed Oracle, and I'm here to talk a little bit about some upcoming events, one in particular, and that's the Solar Eclipse Gathering. So it's a solar eclipse frequency bath coming up in a couple of days. So on the 20th of April. So I'm going to tell you a little bit more about what to expect, what we're going to be doing, accessibility, all the details. All the details. And of course, if you have any questions, you can reach out to me with direct message and ask away. So the details for the details first. the need to knows. The need to knows are it's a solar eclipse frequency bath. We'll talk a little bit more about what that means in a minute. And so it's happening on the 20th of April, so coming up here, under the solar eclipse with the new moon in Aries, right? So that's some like go get 'em attitude, like jump now, ask questions later, which is good for shaking things up. So this is going to be taking place at the Star Temple, which is where I'm coming at you for this video right now. The Star Temple is based in Victoria, BC, at the Sky. It's a limited gathering, meaning there's only room for 8 divine beings to come and receive and activate and initiate and cocoon. There's going to be nesting spaces where you can get super cozy. So the cost of the gathering is sliding scale 33, 44, 55 or 55. And it's accessible. So accessibility, what do we got here? So there's stairs coming up to the space, but there's also an elevator. There are wheelchair accessible bathrooms as well. Most of the nesting will be taking place on the floor. There will be a raised bed. And when I say nesting, individual nests, individual spaces where you can get cocooned in as comfortably as you need to. Depending on the number of people will depend on if there is some floor space to fully lay down. There will be a raised bed, so a massage bed, but raised like a couch to sit on. That is room for about 3 people. And then we have a lovely cozy chair as well. So a variety of seating and ways to allow yourself to get comfortable into the space. Now, what is a frequency bath? So you already can hear me speaking the light language, the light code. So this is something that will be coming in. And it's different each and every time. So each gathering that we hold, so this gathering is in conjunction with the Cosmic Messenger, Derek Penna. He will also be here holding the space and activating as well. Each session is uniquely different. Uniquely different in that the light language that comes out is different, the way that the rest of the frequency tools that we will be using come out and are different, because each gathering is different. Your frequency that you bring to the gathering is different. The gathering of people might not be the same people. And even if it was the same people every single time, the frequency and the energy that they bring and what is alive for them in that moment, how they're being impacted by the eclipse, what's going on in their life, what kind of work have they been doing, spirit work, has there been any upheavals in their life lately, has there been any joys? All of those affect the vibration of each being within the space. Hence, it's different every single time. Some things that are consistent with the gatherings is that they are safe, sacred space that are held for you to receive and are comfortable for you to surrender. One of the most beautiful feedbacks I had from a lovely being from a previous sound bath, frequency bath that we had done, was that they didn't usually go to these things because they felt that they were either pushed to go further than they were actually comfortable, or they wanted to go further, but they didn't feel that there was a space to, or that it would be too intense for the environment, or that the person that was facilitating, it would be too much, they wouldn't be able to hold that container. And they said that after the frequency bath, after the sound bath, at that time there was sound bowls and everything, is they felt safe to go to exactly where they needed to go, and that they knew that they would be supported regardless of where they decided to go to. And by go to, I mean where they decided to travel with their consciousness, regardless of the timelines that they went, regardless of the inward space that they went to, regardless of what was uncovered. They felt held and the capacity to just be, right? Because there is no force during these frequency baths of you have to go here, right? This is the only direction. And that's why I say there's such a unique experience, because there might be guided meditation, which will guide you to gently go into different spaces within yourself. But they're left open more for you to feel into these spaces, as opposed to you have to go into this space or go into this space. It's feel into this space. So guided meditation can come in. Tuning forks come in, attuned to the celestial frequencies, so different planets, stars and stuff like that, okay? And those come in a couple different ways. You may experience them directly on your body. And what's beautiful about that is you get something very specific to what you're in need of in that moment. But then also, while somebody else in the room is getting fork specific, you are still bathing in those frequencies and getting the shifts and the changes and the transformations and the required support that you need. And in turn, your body responds to put out a vibration to support that other being as they're going through their vibrational shift. So it's a give and receive on the etheric levels. So we got guided meditation, we got light language, all right? Feels like coming home. It's a way to bypass the mental sphere, to go in and allow the frequencies to go into the deep, deep cellular spaces, without you getting stuck on the mental capacity, the mental, oh, so they said I should do this, or this is the direction that's next. But then all those things that you have attached to the words, oh, but the last time I did some breath work like that, or I focused on my breath, I ended up having a challenge and it was too much for my body. But there's none of that. It's just, I'm taking in the frequencies and my body is responding. My spirit is responding. My subtle bodies are responding to the frequency as opposed to the attachment that I have to the words. Yeah. Guided meditation, tuning forks, light language encodings, golden seed sacred geometry templates. So there's these lovely little golden seeds on tape, on little pieces of clear tape, that are placed upon the body in different sacred geometry grids. And the one we'll be using this week is one that expands the heart field frequency. Well, when we expand the heart field frequency, what we are calling in, we are more able to surrender to. We are more able to feel our worth in receiving that thing, because we can ask for things. But if we don't feel worthy of it, even subconsciously, there's like this little blockade that can prevent us from receiving that thing in whatever way that thing is to come to us. That experience, that emotion, that way of being, item, whatever it is that we're calling it. Yeah. So to expand the heart field frequency allows greater capacity to receive, and also to bring in clarity of what we actually want, and to ask for it, as opposed to, well, I really want that, but I shouldn't ask for it, or I shouldn't ask for it like this, or if I ask for this, then that might make me feel like I might be being selfish, or maybe I'm not worthy of that, as opposed to, this is what I want, and this is what I am present to. These are my boundaries. This is what I need. This is what I actually yearn for, deep into my bones. So these golden seeds are placed upon the body. Then we have multidimensional Reiki, performed by the immaculate and amazing Derek Pennant. So it's not, your basic Reiki of here we go, we've got some frequencies. Derek tunes into the etheric realms, and he brings in, he's a clear conduit. And the transformations that he can create, and he'll be bringing in the Reiki, he'll also be helping with the tuning forks as well, and whatever other sound healing tools decide to come in, from chimes to the vibratone, multiple different things. Again, unique experience for each gathering. But he'll be using the Reiki to create that clear conduit, to keep the space clear, to keep the channel clear for the frequencies that are coming in, for the transformations, for the intentions, right? So as you can see, it's a multi-dimensional, layered gathering that shifts and changes as needed, and offers what is needed for the beings that are present. And then as time allows at the end, I will be offering Oracle Divination. If people have questions that they would like some clarity on for their spiritual life, for their physical life, for whatever's going on in their world, that they're like, you know what, I'd like a little bit of extra clarity on this. Often the cards come out. By the cards, I mean the Oracle or the Tarot cards. They come out to give some more guidance as well as to what's going on. So what does the flow of the night look like? What can you expect? Well, we all come into this beautiful space. You pick your space to make your lovely little cocoon nest where you can be comfortable. We invite you to bring whatever you need. There will be some pillows provided. There will be some blankets. But whatever you want. Do you have a stuffy that you enjoy? Is there a specific blanket that you feel super comfortable in? Is there a certain pillow that you're like, you know what, this settles me in and helps me feel safe? So we all come in, we create our little cocoon spaces. There are backrests, just so you know. There will be backrests available for every single spot, unless of course you choose to lay on the floor, and that is the biggest backrest, if there's space. Come in. We have a quick hello, right? Everybody gets to say a quick hello. Maybe speak what's to alive. Often we ask people, what's alive for you right now? There's no requirement to speak. If you're like, no thanks, I'm good, I'm just here to receive, then you're just here to receive. And you just go, hi, next. Yeah, there's no pressure to interact more than you feel that you want to in that moment. So after that little intro, we're gonna talk a little bit more about what eclipses are. Brief summary. Vortexes. Picture like the hose outside, right? And when you put your hand over the water, what happens is it even faster, right? The water comes out even faster. And that's the same thing with eclipses, is it creates the particles of shifting, of change, right? It creates that like, so they move fast, and they can move things fast. So these are perfect times to change things, and to compassionately sever and to call in. And then when we have the new moon attached to that, the new moon is all about expansion and change and disrupting a little bit, yeah? We already talked about Aries. Let's go! So this is the time to make those like beautiful changes that when we harmonize ourselves to the frequencies, so when we have intentional gatherings, intentional moments, intentional, hey, I'm here, I feel the frequencies of the eclipse, now I'm going to harness them a little bit, I'm going to call upon them, I'm going to swim in them a little bit, and we get our frequency and our vibration within that realm. These are power days. Use that power. It's like surfing. I don't surf, but it's like surfing, and you're like, oh, I'm using the ocean. I see there's that wave. I'm going to go ride that wave, and it's going to propel me forward, and you're working together with the frequencies. Yeah. And so that's what these gatherings help with. They help you work together with the frequencies to create the shifts and changes, or to receive and to feel lovely, to feel relaxed, to feel calm, to feel expanded, to bring more clarity into your life. Let's see here, what else? Shifting your patterns to be supported. We've also had people have big remembrances of past lives, of future lives coming. Clarity of this is what's next in my life and the steps to get there. So again, there's no one way that you will feel after. It all depends on where you are and where you're going. And this is a supportive space as a collective to help get you there. Let's see here. Yeah, cozy space, we got that. Space to be, to become, and or to receive. Oh, so then I was talking about what the experience is like. Cocoon yourself. We're going to share a little bit more about the eclipses. Then we'll go through a morphic resonance guided meditation, which connects us into a higher self state. That pure state of knowing, of clarity. We stand different, we feel different, we're embodied with our spirit. And then the frequency bath begins. So it's kind of like a sound healing, but a little bit different. We don't have sound bowls or anything like that. I think we have one Tibetan sound bowl, but it's with the tools that I already talked about a little bit earlier. And then you receive. And we go with the flow. We know, Derek and I don't push it past where it's like, this is complete. We know when it's complete. We feel it's complete. Once it's complete, we will all come back together. We'll call you back into the realms of the day in Victoria, BC, into your physical presence. And then we have some decoding time. And what decoding time means is that we talk a little bit about people's experiences if people choose to share. This would also be the time that we're going to talk a little bit about the divination, and we'll pull tarot cards or oracle cards, and that would be the time at the end to do that. And we help you come back into your present state before you go back out into the 3D world, to make sure that it's not just, okay, we're done, okay, peace out, have fun going back into the 3D, right? We want that transition space that you can feel like you've been taken care of, and you've been held, and those integration of the frequencies have been allowed, well, the frequencies have been allowed to integrate a little bit more before you're sent on your way. I think, I'm just checking my notes. So we gather in harmonic resonance with the eclipse to expand your consciousness into the space that it is required, or it is seeking, or it needs support with for what is next. To raise your vibration, to be a conscious human, to connect with the spirit space of yourself within your spiritual revolution. Okay. So I'm going to put the link down below for registration. If you have any questions, like I said, please reach out. I am here. This Thursday, 6:30 to 8:30 p.m. in Victoria, BC. At the Star Temple, sliding scale rate, 33, 44, 55, and so much love and stardust. Okay, super excited, and I hope to see you soon. Okay, bye for now.